You've stumbled into a podcast. Maybe you were looking for a podcast about, I don't know, anything else. No, just kidding. Just get so negative. Be like, a podcast how to rebuild that carburetor. A podcast about why he won't return your phone calls.
Welcome to Weld.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, I was just fine when I saw my first welding unit. We're going to our sponsor, JB Wright Trucks and Tires. Oh, man. Anyway, no, it's a Binge-Watchers Podcast. Usually I'm telling you who I am. I'm Johnny. I spoil things. I only spoil the movies I love. That's what it's been, okay? And I'm joined as always by Jordan Savage, the Savage Scream Queen herself. I guess we're making fun of podcasting? I don't know. We're in that kind of mood. It's Feel Good Movie Month. We'll be talking about movies that make you feel good or make other people feel good. Because you could be like, step back from that ledge, my friend, which is a song. I won't sing the lyrics because I'm not paying for the lyrics. I don't know. Nobody would ever charge me for the lyrics. Like, can you imagine if, like, you were on so many people's radar that are like, hey, Johnny and Jordan just used the lyrics to that song. Hit him with a cease and desist.
Send them the tab.
One day, we'll be on everybody's hit list. We'll be on it. Yeah. But, this is a completely random opening. Sorry. We'll write better jokes next week. Okay. Where are we at? Home video headlines. What's new in movies and television? Netflix is considering expanding the Fear Street franchise with a standalone film potentially featuring new characters and storylines. I almost said Jordan's tagline. What do you almost say? Where you're located?
What do you mean? I don't
You're
know.
like,
I've got like 5.
I'm
here for it. Yeah.
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
You are here for it. You almost said it. Hey, we did one for the pod and we liked it. So
yeah, Fear Street, the 94 story was amazing. That's what my notes say. I'm gonna have to trust myself. I mean, I wrote it down earlier in a red pen. Can't take it back now. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. One of the stars is Kumail Nanjiani, the comedian, and he says the upcoming sequel plays out like a long episode of the animated series The Real Ghostbusters, which is kind of cool. I think we were talking about that on our recent Halloween episode. The series was good. It was scary. Had a bunch of crazy ghosts, unique ghosts. I did watch the trailer. Basically, it's exactly what it says. New York freezes over, and they got to take on a big frozen baddie. I mean, they're just franchising the heck out of everything now, so that's what it is. We're just probably going to get like a Ghostbusters sequel every year now. You know what I mean? Like,
but isn't it one of your favorite franchises? Like, especially for that time of year for Halloween time. So I'm here for it.
Oh, dang. See how it takes the thunder away? Like if somebody had said it a while ago.
Literally 2 minutes ago.
Yeah. So sometimes when you zip out those spoilers or somebody else does a spoiler, I'm like, wow.
Spoiled my spoiler.
I'm going to spoil nothing. Actually, I don't know if anybody's actually paying attention. I say I'm only going to spoil the things that I'm really into. So half the time I don't say anything, which means I must not be really that into the movie. But that's like inside baseball. You got to really be paying attention.
That's true.
A live-action Legend of Zelda movie is officially in development from Nintendo. What do you think?
I mean, I think that was like before my time, but it's so iconic that...
She kind of shrugged. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just like listening...
Hey, I'm like right on the cusp of it being for me, but that's like totally millennial. Something my brother would love, you know? So I think it will be cool, you know?
You didn't play any of the Link games? Still played it.
Yeah, I didn't.
Later on, they let Zelda be the boss. Kind of like she had her own missions. Wasn't a damsel in distress, right? The princess up in the tower to sit there.
I love it when the damsel becomes the main character. So
speaking of which, Damsel's coming out from Netflix. This is not a plug. We didn't. That's a movie with the girl from. She's like the psychic in that. What's that Stranger Thing? Oh, Stranger Things.
Millie Bobby
Monroe or whoever.
Millie Bobby Brown.
Babadoo is her name. And she's actually in a movie called Damsel where like she gets stuck in a dragon's cave, but hey, nobody's coming to save her. In fact, wait, I guess it still counts if I do spoiler alert a trailer, right?
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. They stuck her in the mountain on purpose. Sacrificed her to the dragon. She's got to figure her own way out. I just like inserted a headline we weren't planning on talking about. Whatever.
It's all right.
But that looks good. This is kind of silly. Paramount's going to develop another remake of The Longest Yard. What is The Longest Yard, folks? This is what it is. It's a prison football movie. So Burt Reynolds was in the original one, and then they remade it with Adam Sandler, and they brought back Burt Reynolds' character. Like, oh, he's still in jail. He'll come and help coach the new team that's in jail. And basically, it's like the prisoners play the guards. That was a cool concept. Like, prisoners on this side of the huddle, guards on this side. Let's have a game.
I watched the Adam Sandler one, like a bunch. Yeah.
Which has like a dramatic death, right? Like, is it Chris Rock's character that gets like blown up halfway through the movie or something like that?
Can't remember. I just remember the Hail Mary, gameplay where they're just tossing it up and, whatever. But
I will say the original is a little bit more serious, right? It's got that 70s edge. The Adam Sandler remake, forget it. But the Adam Sandler remake, though, does go out of its way to make sure that you know why he's in prison. Like, they spend like a half hour where he's like joyriding, right? Out of control football player in the beginning of the movie or something through downtown or whatever's going on.
Gives us some backstory.
Yeah. So the SAG-AFTRA strike is over. Deadpool's back in production for Deadpool 3. They just got started here. I don't know. Maybe they're shooting this week or something. I don't know. Yeah. I feel like, do you know how like if people talk about something so much you just get tired of it, or you don't like, you're no longer as jazzed about it?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure I'll watch Deadpool 3 when it comes out.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Like, because I want the Deadpool Wolverine storyline. I want the cameo, I want Jackman running around with my Ryan Reynolds. That's his name, right? Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. Trying to confuse him with the other Ryan who's just hanging out with Barbies. Double Ryans. Dang it. Okay. We'll be back in like 40 seconds with tonight's movie, which is called Yesterday. Yeah.
Crack open a cold box of wine or pour something cold on ice because it's the Binge-Watchers Podcast.
Yesterday is about a struggling musician who realizes he's the only person on Earth who can remember the Beatles after he wakes up in kind of like an alternate reality. And the Beatles, they never existed. And then he gets kind of famous for singing their songs, which creates kind of like a moral dilemma. It's directed by Danny Boyle. It's got Hamish Patel. It's got Lily James, Ed Sheeran, and Kate McKinnon. I guess it's safe to say the cast is like peppered with both music people and entertainment people. I think that's kind of like what helped ground it in reality, right? Because we haven't really touched on a lot of movies that are magical realism. Like, basically, like, yeah, there's a fantasy element or like something's messing with time and space, but it's set in like our backyard or like, you know what I mean? Like everything that we know.
Totally.
Starbucks and McDonald's, Apple Watches. It's like happening in our neck of the woods, but it's whatever, right? So there's kind of like an impossible choice in the movie that gets kind of set up. So the main character, Jack, he's super talented in his own way. And then he has his best friend who's like his talent manager, Ellie, right?
Ellie.
And then in the alternate reality, or we'll call it Beetleverse, right?
Ooh, the Beetleverse.
Essentially, he becomes a super famous singer, but it's like he's the most glorified, world famous cover band singer. Because he's the only one that knows how to cover the Beatles. Like, people are like, oh, cool song, Jack. But he doesn't have Ellie's love to support in that universe. He starts to lose. First, he loses the support and then the love. There's like a scene where she's like, how did I get put in that column? They're doing the classic, like, here's the thing. It's the classic friend column or love column, right? We all know the metaphors. But she just does it in a way that makes it good again, even though we've seen it before, you know? You believe her in that instance, right? Anyway, I'm getting so far ahead of where we're supposed to be. Hey, Jordan, do you have any savage stats about tonight's movie?
Got some savage stats for you. So Himesh Patel did all of his own singing and playing in the movie, which is incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It is pretty rad. Screenwriter Richard Curtis asked for Paul McCartney's approval of the title of the film. Sir Paul gave his blessing, but also suggested they called it Scrambled Eggs instead. This was a lighthearted reference to the fact that before coming up with the lyrics for Yesterday, McCartney had the temporary lyrics of Scrambled Eggs as a placeholder for the song.
So, right, you're going to make like a movie, and you're going to call it like Scrambled Eggs?
That's pretty good.
Or what not? It's going to be like an album, and people are going to like play it on the music player. Scrambled Eggs.
Scrambled Eggs.
I don't know if I can hold it longer than that, so I thought I would let it go.
That was pretty good, though. The Beatles had zero input creatively outside of approving of their music being used in the film. Director Danny Boyle stated that in interviews that the film was blessed by Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr, as well as the estates of John Lennon and George Harrison.
See, I tried to find some of these interviews. All I could really find was Ed Sheeran in like a 2-minute clip saying, "Oh yeah, Himesh Patel, that guy can sing." Thanks, Ed Sheeran. Ed Sheeran is like the most vanilla. You know what I'm saying?
So true. It's like he even gives you vanilla like in this movie, like even when just like
saturate. It's like dripping with vanilla, if that's even possible. But to say dripping would be to make it sound better than it is. It's like
it's perfect. Yeah, extra. Not dripping like dripping in gold or steez. Yeah. It's like dripping as in you're gonna get a little bit of it throughout the whole entire movie. And yeah, honestly though, it works. It ties it all in together. One early concept was that the color purple was among the things that did not exist. So like in the movie, Coca-Cola doesn't exist. In the movie, Harry Potter doesn't exist.
rough stuff, guys.
I know, I'm a Coke girl.
We don't get to read about our wizard while drinking our Coca-Cola. What kind of world are we falling into?
Yeah, seriously. And so going back to the color purple, with the casual reference to the band Deep Purple now being called Deep Orange, this idea was abandoned because it was pretty much too much work for them to enforce the extras to not be wearing purple, which makes sense. You know, there's a lot of scenes in some pretty heavily, populated areas, but
that's really tough. You're going to eliminate an entire color from the spectrum.
Also, I feel like color is one of those subjective things where it's like somebody could be like, is that purple? Is that sort of purple? I feel like that's a hard rule to try to lay down, but.
And then you got to follow it through, right? Because then like Prince's song wouldn't be Purple Rain, right? What kind of rain would it be? What color would it be? There's also a movie about like the American South called The Color Purple. So there would be no color purple.
Right.
Right. So, if we go by these facts and stats and suggestions, then like everything that was purple would be orange.
You're right.
So it'd be the color orange rain, which that sounds like a
Fanta commercial or something.
Or a chemical weapon or something.
Yeah,
like something.
It does sound like a
gnarly.
I was trying to go a little bit more cheerful for that one. Okay.
I know it's hard. We're talking about movies that are supposed to make you feel good, but we want to get dark.
Yeah,
we want to go to dark places.
You're right. They would be redlining some pretty like historical pieces of music and in movies if we had to follow that rule. So when Jack first performs Yesterday, his friends claimed that it's not as good as Coldplay. Ed Sheeran's role was originally meant for Chris Martin, the lead singer of Coldplay, who could not do it due to scheduling conflicts. So then it was offered to Sheeran, but the joke was left in the script.
So they make so many references to Coldplay in the movie.
I only remember the one.
There's just got to be at least 3. I thought I heard it like at least 3 times. Anyway, we'll be right back with favorite bits from yesterday after these messages. Here are 5 films to spice up your movie night. If you're looking for movies to spice up things in terms of excitement, entertainment, or even romance, here's 5 films from various genres that might do the trick. You got Mad Max Fury Road. It's a high-octane post-apocalyptic action film that offers nonstop adrenaline-pumping action and stunning visuals. You got Inception, Christopher Nolan's mind-bending sci-fi thriller that will keep you on the edge of your seat with its intricate plot and jaw-dropping special effects. Have you seen Inception? Gnarly stuff.
I love it.
The buildings bend. It's like all dream magic. I don't know. Or dream science fiction. Who knows? Atomic Blonde. It's a stylish, action-packed spy thriller starring Charlize Theron, which combines espionage with intense fight scenes and a killer 80s soundtrack. I can vouch for this one. The fights are fighty, and the flights are flighty. Check it out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's
or how about the what?
That's a tagline right there. That's
have you seen American? Have you seen Atomic Blonde?
I haven't, but I love her so much.
It's,
so I gotta
put rad.
It on the list.
It's super rad. Yeah, like make it jump a little bit higher. Like if there's things in the way. All right. Okay. The Shape of Water is the last one on this list of 5 films to spice up your movie night. It's a unique and visually captivating romantic fantasy film about a mute woman who forms a connection with a monster. Actually, it's a aquatic beast. It looks like the creature from the Black Lagoon. Anyway, this holiday season is all about celebrating love, joy, and togetherness. Couples can make this time more special by exploring the world of intimate products from Adam and Eve. Whether you're looking to reignite the spark in your relationship, create unforgettable memories, or simply have fun together, Adam and Eve's diverse range of products has something for everyone. This holiday season, celebrate together with Adam and Eve. Make your moments truly memorable. Embrace the opportunity to rediscover intimacy, give personalized gifts, or embark on adventurous exploration. Foster open communication and spend more quality time together, creating cherished memories that will last a lifetime. This spicy content was sponsored by AdamandEve.com. Use code BWPod at checkout to unlock a special offer, plus free shipping. I feel like Jordan's rushing me tonight. That's why I'm slurring all my words.
No.
Your fault.
Lies. Slander.
If you're really, hey, Jordan, do you think consider yourself like a true movie buff?
In your shadow? No.
Well, anyway, if Jordan is a true movie buff, she can take her passion to the next level and check out Lala, which is putting together the next generation fan experience. So if you have a passion for movies and TV, you can be part of their movie fan community by becoming part of their real rewards. But don't miss out on your chance, Jordan, to turn your love for movies and TV into awesome rewards with Lala. Now back to the podcast already in progress. I want to tease Jordan about the fact that she's too busy to watch movies because she's bike riding.
I was going to say, subtle way to tell me to step up my game.
What, with movie watching? Like, well, you kind of pause. Like, you think after I don't know, 50 episodes, 100 episodes, how many episodes you been on?
Can you imagine over? Yeah, that's like 104 episodes minimum. So
I think at this point you might want to call yourself some kind of movie person, some kind of movie professional.
I am a movie person, so
notice she said movie person, not movie professional.
I am a movie professional. Now.
What are your professional favorite bits from yesterday?
Okay. I mean, the whole movie is chock full of them. I did reference the whole Harry Potter moment.
Yeah.
Of course, Jack has dealt with his moral conflict. You're kind of coming off the whole scene. He is trying to make his, I don't want to spoil it. I feel like I'm trying really hard to not directly.
I will.
Say. Okay, no.
He goes to a huge concert and has a nervous breakdown and says, I'm going to lose the girl if I don't tell the girl in front of millions of people how I feel about the girl, now or never. And he's like, yeah, guess what? The Beatles are people. I stole the songs. And Ellie, I'm in love with you.
Yeah.
And then everybody's like, oh, do we slow clap now? Is there music? Because I bought this ticket. It's non-refundable. I'm at the gym. I'm at the concert.
Even between your bit that you just described and the bit I'm going for, there's even small bits within the bits that are just so funny.
Did you find it at all disturbing the fact that they can't get back to the actual world they came from where the Beatles are real?
No.
Because I never, I just didn't
me.
really think, I didn't think about that element until this rewatch where I go, oh, wait a minute. You know what? They never actually get back to square one. Usually in these movies, they rewind the little magic spell or the accident and they go back to their normal world and get on with their lives.
Right. Like the, clock dings midnight and time reverses or whatever. Yeah. They like click their heels. Who knows? And it goes back to the way that the world is. And no, that didn't bother me.
You were extremely famous. You have a scandal. Now go on with the rest of your life in this world without the Beatles.
But I kind of like that about this movie is that it's very much unlike all the others that kind of have this sort of like, rewriting your mistakes or going, I don't know, a parallel universe or something.
Oh, it has consequences. Even though it has magic, it's also got consequences.
It sure does.
Although one could argue Harry Potter has consequences.
Yeah, but Harry Potter doesn't exist in this realm. But even
Harry
there's there's little bits even in between the bits. Like Kate McKinnon's character, she's obviously this like super power hungry, movie producer. And just like what you said, he finally confesses to everybody and the crowds of people are chasing him and Ellie. So Jack and Ellie are running through the stadium and Kate McKinnon's character gets like pushed up on, the glass and she's like trying to shout through the door to essentially get to them. And
she's like a music agent out for blood or whatever. Yeah.
What's his sidekick's name? I forget because I loved his character.
Darn. I didn't write down any of the friends' names. But yeah, so they have a friend who's like a music roadie. Rocky, there you go. Yeah, because he's making jokes with Ed Sheeran on the airplane.
Yeah, so that was a good
at some point, guys, Jack gets invited to sing with Ed Sheeran because Ed Sheeran hears one of his Beatles songs on the radio, goes to his house, he's gonna have a beer with him. I wrote that down. Ed Sheeran beer. Like it was one of my bits. Jordan is right though. The way I would say it is like almost every scene and every actor brings bits to the movie. Like every scene is just about good. It's too much goodness. It's like
there's
oozing
like
out of the movie.
One-liners too that just like make you laugh so hard. When he's like, is it Jack or Rocky? I think Jack's like yelling at Kate McKinnon's character that she's embarrassing herself. Like, I don't know why. I just thought the delivery was so funny. Her face is pressed up against the glass. She wants to get Jack to like take it back. I don't know. So she can make tons of money off of him. The whole Harry Potter thing is so funny too, because he wakes up the next day and he's just got this like air of relief. Like, you can even just see it in his character, like this weight's been lifted off his shoulders. Yeah. And he's just saying, I feel like Harry Potter, when he defeats Voldemort, that we can just go back to the way that things were before. And I laughed so hard because I like know that part in the movies and in the books, like, where it's over, it's like this huge thing that you're building up to and it's done. And, then of course she's like, Harry who? And I was just like laughing so hard. So there's just
they recall like Google searching because at the beginning he's like Google searching to see any kind of Beetle. It doesn't come up. Coca-Cola doesn't come up. What else is on this list? Cigarettes don't come up.
Cigarettes aren't a thing.
Yeah, and then they slap us with the Harry Potter right there at the end. But I feel like there's more than one Harry Potter reference as well. I think.
I can't recall. Yeah,
but there's a moment where he's trying to sing the song "Let It Be" to his parents and the neighbor, and they just are like they're just like trying to pacify his interest in music, right? So they're not really paying attention. They keep interrupting, right? So
with the dad's friend is on the phone, he's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
like
I know.
almost like the person.
I know. Like they're talking about him. Yeah. Like the wife on the other end is like, he's playing music again. I thought he was done. Yeah, is he gonna give it up? Never. Oh yeah, I know.
You can just imagine that whole conversation that you're not hearing. It just made me laugh so hard.
How about the sing-off where Ed Sheeran's like, we're going to take 10 minutes. Whoever writes the best song is the better singer. And of course, he rocks it out of the park. Right?
Yes. The whole, like, once Ed Sheeran gets into the kitchen and they're, like, trying to have a cider together in the kitchen and there's no cider left to the very end.
I mean, so Ed Sheeran, I don't know. He kind of gets on my nerves, so I don't want to give him too much credit, but in that scene where they have this song off, he actually does look downtrodden, like he's actually really upset that the other guy might be potentially a better singer-songwriter. Yeah. And I'm like, could Ed Sheeran really be that good of an actor to play that kind of pain in a movie where he's playing Ed Sheeran? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
And I'm sitting here going, I got like. But what does it say about my character? Where I'm like, I don't want to give people credit for emoting in movies. I'm like, I don't want to give you any credit for acting, Ed. But in this one it works. I don't know if it's because he's playing himself or that happened to him in real life, and he drew on some kind of real pain for this fake moment to infuse it with something. Yeah. We mentioned the concert confession. What else is going on? Oh, how about in this reality, John Lennon never becomes a singer. So he's like retired, drinking tea in the countryside, talking about the love affair of his life or whatever. And gives Jack some motivation to make the concert confession, really. I mean, that's a major thing, right? In the third act. I've seen this movie now 4 times. I never really thought about as we said, like the magic spell being reversed. I call it a magic spell because it's like actually more like a meteorological weather phenomenon or something.
Worldwide amnesia. Yeah.
Someone turned on the Hadron Collider and the particles exploded or something and changed the face of the planet. Who knows? But that's the one. Well, actually, no. We find out it's not the one element, just the Beatles. It's almost like things that people were associated with like joy or obsessions were erased or something.
Or just so classic. Like Coca-Cola is classic. It's the best of its kind. But then you have cigarettes. I don't know how that comes in. Maybe it's just
well, doesn't Jack get stressed out or something and he wants to crack open a smoke?
Yeah, well, he brings it up, but cigarettes aren't the best of its kind, because it's just cigarettes, But
if I could read my notes, what else is here? Let's see. Oh, I had just written. Oh wait, what did I write? We talked about "Let It Be," which actually I really like that song. So it's really funny. So part of the fun of this movie is when he's trying to remember the lyrics to the Beatles songs, but then he goes out into the community and he's playing at bars, playing at parties, and nobody is recognizing them about how the classic and great songs that they are. Right? There's a moment in the movie where people are just like, whatever, dude.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, and I like the part of the movie too where he doesn't exactly remember all of the lyrics, and he can't go to the internet to actually to look them up, word for word.
At one point he's at the dentist, right? And he's getting his tooth. He has to because it's not an insignificant detail, but part of the accident is a bus hits him. Is that what happens? He flies off the bus on the bicycle and loses his front tooth, gets replaced, but then he remembers a song while he's sitting there at the dentist. And yeah, it was just a cool story device, right? There's things that trigger in his memory about the Beatles songs.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the other thing too we haven't brought up too is so he remembers the Beatles, but there's 2 other human beings.
Oh yeah, that's right. The events didn't wipe away everybody. Yeah, there's a Russian guy, right? And there's a English lady who helps him remember Strawberry Affair or something like that. And they come into his life and he thinks he's going to be criticized or crucified, and they're just like, no, thank you. These are the best songs. We need them. They make people feel better. Right. And I'm not going to talk about. I mean, I'm not going to sit here. This is we're not going to have a diatribe about how famous the Beatles are, our favorite Beatles. I mean, we could probably discuss our favorite Beatles songs, but I just want to bring up there is a documentary called Get Back that Peter Jackson made, which is actually it's pretty good because when they were working on an album, they have all this footage behind the scenes, and they put it all together finally in a documentary series, and it's really really good. So I actually give them more credit having seen that documentary, and also. We may have brought it up once before where I said I didn't realize what's funny is as much as they make Ed Sheeran jokes, they also made a ton of Ringo Starr jokes, right? He's always the Beatle that gets picked on or whatever.
Right.
If you watch that documentary, you give him a lot more credit. He's kind of sitting there and dealing with everybody's emotions and in egos. He's kind of taking it all in. He's kind of laid back and was more instrumental than you think, and it's pretty interesting, Where are we at? Are you gonna rate yesterday?
I mean, it's kind of a given. Of course, it's a binge now.
Oh, dang!
A movie that I would go tell my mom immediately. Like, this is why I love this month so much, because the movies that like just bring you pure joy, like that's something I want to share with my mom. So
like, it's hard to play poker face where you're just like, I don't know if you just binge now, binge later, binge never. I mean, I really think just this movie made me want to, stick a fork in me. I'm done. Never watch it again. Like, no. Obviously. I guess you can figure that out, right? Like, oh, it's a feel-good movie month, so obviously they must like the movies. So, have we ever dissed a feel-gooder? That's a good question. We'll have to look it up. We'll have to look at we'll have to go to the catalog, folks, and see if we ever disagreed about some of the feel-gooders. It might be possible, because I mean, I still give Jordan a hard time about Casper floating to the top of the stocking stuffer somehow.
I still watch Casper every year.
Oh my gosh. Dang. I mean, obviously there's no debate, there's no conflict. Usually during the ratings segment we have a nice little banter, but we're both just like, yeah.
I didn't even give you a second to like say what.
No, I didn't even get to like build the dramatic pause and the arcs of the rating system. You're just like, but I'm like, oh, okay. And then like I had still unwound it from my tongue. I was like, I'm still gonna have to get it in somehow. Fan service. What are the fans up to do? Let's see. What do we got? We're just thinking about dirty toy packages from Adam and Eve. Like, we got some giveaways. Coming to you. Oh man,
makes me laugh.
Dang. Use your own imagination, folks. What's in your gift bag? It's on its way to you. It's in the mail. Jordan's looking for feedback on your feel-gooders. She's looking for some videos.
Send me a video.
Yeah. And I should have probably figured out we do like giveaways every month, but I didn't really put a package together. During anime month, there was like some animes. We had a horror movie bundle. We did some Funko Pops. What else have we done? Voodoo gift cards, which are like movie things. Download a movie. For Feel Good Movie Month, I don't know. You want a pie? We'll send you a pie. Like, we'll just send you a damn pie.
It's like the best kind of giveaway. Yeah.
What flavor it is? I don't know. It's going to be like, it'll be dealer's choice, but we'll send you a pie. Yeah, I think we have the technology to ship pies.
It has to be out there.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Where are we at? Oh, staff picks. If you watched anything else besides yesterday, is there anything you want to tell the audience about? Sometimes I ask before the show because I don't know. I have to try to remember to write things down for myself too.
Yeah. This is always where I'm trying to like jog my memory.
Yeah.
Isn't
that weird? Because we know everybody's watching things all week long, and then you get here and you're just like, what the hell did I watch? You know what I mean? Like, well, because everybody's just trying to grind their week away, right? So most of their content is just like in one ear, out the other.
I feel like I watched something good too, but not happy related.
Let that rattle around in your head, and I'll tell you mine, and then maybe it'll come up or not.
Yay! Tell me yours.
So, Pain Hustlers is a movie on Netflix with Emily Blunt and Chris Evans, Captain America. He's the sales manager at a pharmaceutical company that's kind of like a smaller rival to like Oxycodone or something during like the painkiller days. The big craze, whatever. Emily Blunt's like a woman that needs a job. She's like kind of like going through a divorce, got a daughter to support, loses a job, and then like, but is very like super adaptable and like improvisational with like, if opportunities are there, she knows how to act on them real quickly. So she's like, boom, I'm your salesperson. Boom, I got a doctor to agree to sell this prescription. Boom, I got 5 more doctors. Boom, we got the convention. Boom, we're like selling that. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like happens very quickly. But then it comes around to like guilt and responsibility, and like it basically is like starts to unravel because it's all about the conflict of like selling those drugs and getting people hooked on them and making more money and all this stuff. Is it as good as the Hulu show that had Michael Keaton in it about the same kind of conflict but a different drug? Probably not. But I love being in the sales game, man. You know, I love these movies about like industrious people with their little ties on, or they're like closing deals, chasing deals. I guess I don't know. Is that addictive? It might be addictive. Maybe. Once you taste that apple, keep going.
Can't. Yeah, you got to get another bite. I feel that. Well, like
everywhere tonight.
Kind of on the tail of that, it's like a horror drama thriller on Netflix about a very similar concept, but way spooky, like spooky vibes. If you watched or liked the Haunting of Hill House and the Haunting of Bly Manor, it's the people who created those. It's called The Fall of the House of Usher. And so it's essentially this man and his sister, they essentially like rise up in the corporate world by essentially climbing the ranks of their own company. And they have essentially, it's a painkiller, like a fictional painkiller that they kind of like leverage their backstory into climbing the ranks in this company. And essentially he's got like 6 kids and they're all
this is that Edgar Allan Poe adaptation.
It might be.
Yeah.
It's super, I liked it. It was super good, super entertaining. I liked that, every episode's dedicated to one of the siblings or the children. And it was good. I watched it.
Yeah, the House of Usher is one of his classic like stories or whatever. I mean they consider him like one of the classic fathers of twistiness, right? What's that one with the raven or whatever it is, right?
Yes.
And then there's one about like a heart that's buried under a floorboard that keeps beating, and so that's what gives away the fact that the guy murdered the other guy. And it has a simple name like the Twice Beat Heart or something like that, but that one's pretty good too. Anyway, yeah, it's funny that there's no arguments about the movie. Like we'll have to just steam it up a little bit for next week and be like, no, hate it. No, just kidding. Feel Good Movie Month will continue. We'll keep teasing Jordan about being in a warmer climate where she can ride bicycles.
Yeah.
Get the big freeze over here.
I got a suntan this weekend, so I did a hike. I even got some sunshine on my face and my chest. So
I'm talking about like 1%er over here.
Okay, whatever.
Whoa. Yeah, that would be like a 1%er that has access to nature.
To nature right now in November. Uh-huh.
Sounds like one of those entitlement problems. Standing in the sunlight.
Get at me.
You have the opportunity to stand in the sunlight. You're not going to take it.
I earned this. So.
Earned your special treat.
Earned my special warm
Jordan
weather.
often shares pictures of her cats online, and I've seen pictures of her cats online, and I want to talk to her about being a responsible cat mom and like what's in their food. What is in their food?
Bella, she was a thick girl and she liked being that way, but may she rest in peace. So
yeah, sorry your cat passed away. Way to end a show about feel good movies. But okay. In my defense, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, like I didn't know the cat was dead. I just saw a thick ass cat, and my point was
thick.
You're feeding her steroids? I mean, like, I don't get like it's what's a popular pet brand? Feisty? No. Feisty? What's a cat brand? You're the cat. Fancy
Feast.
Yeah, Fancy Feast roids. It's
Fancy
like Fancy
Feast
for
a Fancy Beast. That's what it's called.
Fancy Feast for a Fancy Beast?
Yeah.
Wow.
Choose a fan.
Something about being a beast?
Fancy beast. That's what she was.